What's that? Who there? Whoa.
I want to break down the superfoods and adaptogens because I think a lot of people hear the kind of better for you and they hear the nutritional buzzwords, and I don't think most people know what that means. I don't always know what it means. So can you just give us a breakdown on like what constitutes that category, and then which of them do you have, and kind of why do you choose those?
Oh, such a great question. And the better for you space is constantly growing. So three things that we wanted to do when we entered the space is first we wanted to have superfoods and adaptogens and really focus on the category of adaptogens, which are plant-based herbs and roots and spices that have really been used for centuries, usually in Eastern medicine, and now they're starting to get very buzzworthy here. I've actually been I used to take supplements that had so many adaptogens 6, 7 years ago before they were really trendy and buzzworthy. So I knew that when I was making the recipes for these bars, they needed to go in there. So, for example, reishi mushroom. It is an amazing mushroom to help you relax, chill out, to just help calm down. So that is actually in our Zen bar. So a lot of better for you brands are kind of throwing these buzzwords, adaptogens into their products and kind of just like it's like all but the kitchen sink really. So they'll put like 6 or 7 mushrooms, but each adaptogen actually has a very specific function that can help you do your day better. So BTR actually it stands for be bold, tenacious and resilient, and I'll get into my story a little bit later, but it's also a clever play on the word better. So because we really want people to feel better to be their best selves. So adaptogens as a whole as a category helps the body adapt to stress throughout the day. And obviously, 2020 has been the year of stress. So I think that, adaptogens are even trendier this year. But one thing that we're really trying to bring to the forefront is that each of our products has a specific benefit, a specific functional benefit, and they're highlighted front and center of pack.
Yeah, I love that. And it's really, it's fascinating to me, this emergence in wellness. I love it. I mean, that's kind of the topic that I've decided I'm going to focus on for, I think, the rest of my career in life. But why do you think it's taken so long for the spotlight to be shown on some of these ingredients that in the Eastern world were used for centuries before? Like, why do you think it's taken so long?
Oh, such a great question. I think it's twofold. One is that these ingredients, they don't really taste great. So my whole goal was to make healthy one of our taglines is where healthy and delicious intersect. Because we really want to feel when people see superfoods and adaptogens now, they're like, "Oh, this is going to taste like a green juice." When actually it can taste like a cinnamon roll. If you're using the highest quality ingredients, you're sourcing, your supply chain, and then you're making sure that you're using only real ingredients and not these additives and fillers and natural flavors and artificial flavors. That really makes, like our cinnamon cookie dough bar really tastes like a cinnamon roll. So I just got off the phone with a customer who said, I just popped it in the microwave and it literally tastes like a Cinnabon, but a healthy one. So it's really we can put cordyceps and hemp protein and maca in these products and still make it taste good because we're sourcing such incredible high quality ingredients and we're making sure that the real ingredients shine through. So I think there's a myth that a lot of these ingredients they don't taste good, and it's true, right? Like I don't know if you've ever had like mushroom coffee or whatnot. There's some people who love it, and then there's some people who realize that mushrooms can be really bitter, and it just really takes personal chef a lot of time, a lot of recipe iterations to really make it taste amazing. And then I think there's just so much education required behind this category of adaptogens. Whereas a lot of companies build their company on one core ingredient, we are building our company on thousands of ingredients and making sure they come together synergistically. So there's a ton of education on our part as a brand to make sure that our customers know what is reishi mushroom, what's cordyceps mushrooms, what is maca. There's just so much education behind that, but I love it, and I'm so excited that we're really up for the challenge with this.
Yeah, I mean, the education piece is really interesting to me, and I'm curious kind of where you fall on on this kind of spectrum, because for most consumers, I don't know if they have the like attention span or time to care that much about every single ingredient. They kind of, people I've talked to kind of bucket them and like, all right, it's bad for me, it's good for me, and then within good for me, it's really good for me or it's kind of good for me, right? how granular do you think, fast forward 5 to 10 years, do you think the consumer gets? Is it just like a small percent of your customers that really care about every single ingredient, or is that going to happen with the masses?
Such a great question. So we have two consumers, and we're 2 months in business, so a little over 2 months now. But I've had a very clear vision for the company for years. So it really, a lot of customers come to us and say, "You haven't been around for 2 years." And like that's the highest compliment, because it really shows that the brand ethos is something that I've really been thinking about for so long. But I think the education piece is definitely something that can be a challenge. So we have our primary consumer, who is someone who immediately buys a product and turns over the nutrition fact label and reads every single ingredient. That's our primary consumer. They can pronounce all the ingredients. All the ingredients are real food. They understand what adaptogens are. Maybe they have a plant-based diet. Maybe they just want to reduce their sugar intake. The macros fit really well. That's our primary consumer. But we're also starting to see our secondary consumer, who just sees, oh, cinnamon cookie dough, dark chocolate brownie. That sounds really good. That flavor, we have some really unique flavor profiles. I want to try it. They try it. They're like, what are these ingredients are amazing. And I have an energy boost. So it's kind of that added benefit they're starting to see. So we're hooking them with flavor. So our primary consumer, we're hooking with functional benefit. They see energy. They're excited. This is going to replace their, second cup of coffee for the day. Then our secondary consumer, they see flavor first, and they're just hooked. And then they try it and they realize that healthy can be delicious. So right now, as a new company acquiring new customers, we're, really going after this primary market and our primary consumer, but we're starting to really acquire secondary consumers who are becoming loyal customers, which is really exciting.